Is Gary still dead?
Yeah, currently. Don't worry, we're working on a revivify spell. We might have to put back body parts that were cut off and everything, so...
I didn't. I don't keep that shit.
Oh, well...
It's like asking someone to keep a receipt.
Yeah.
A bleeding, festering receipt that attracts flies.
There was a reason why I said, can you give me a hand? It wasn't I needed help. We're trying to reattach.
Oh, so I could have been, uninvolved in the whole thing. Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
That probably would have been the smarter move from a league. Fuck, I forgot we're recording.
Little red light means good.
Not even gonna ask it this time.
Oh, hey. Welcome back to the emergency adventuring party. Wait, no. I fucked that up. Good thing I'm not running the game this time. Oh, shit. Well, what happened last time, guys?
We didn't die.
Or did you?
I mean, he has a point there.
That's true. We really don't know. No, we're still in color.
Yeah.
All the black and white people died.
So we are in this small rural town, and we've got Sammy Delight over there, who is a...
Sunny.
Sunny.
Yes. But her name is Samantha.
Yes. But she's made of sunshine.
And she is an FBI agent who is investigating reports of some Russian planes flying over the border. Mm-hmm. And then we have Mrs. Cleaver, Betty Cleaver, who is the wife of the town sheriff. Mm-hmm. Just the typical 50s housewife who does all the shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then
because her husband's useless.
Yeah.
Mm, yes.
And then I have Bronson Douglas, radio host, rabble rouser, and now self-declared candidate for mayor of this town.
And you've been here for how long?
I like to think that he's actually been here before.
I meant today. 5 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 5 hours. That tracks. Well, last we left, Bronson had stepped out of Wright's diner, right this way, and as stated, he has inflamed and incensed some of the crowd, and not quite as much as he was hoping for, but there's no pitchforks or torches, so that's a fantastic start.
You got a 19. So.
Yes, indeed. So Bronson, give me a perception check, if you would. It will need to be 6 or better.
2.
One of these days.
Wow.
One of these days,
We
you will see
suck.
something. Unfortunately.
Oh, no, that's a 20.
Oh, okay. Yes, that is a 20, actually.
There's a 2 on there. The 2 was facing me, and there was a 2 on there. But it was indeed a 20.
Yeah, he didn't even move his hand. 100%. It was a 20. Alright, so, with a 20, you can easily see the main person who was listening and piping in had a uniform for Driscoll's, which is, as you may recall, the general store Driscoll and Sons. But as you're giving this passionate speech, Driscoll starts reacting in color. He starts coloring a bit. And after you get off your soapbox, quite literally, you find he's making his way over to you.
Well, of course, I'm going to go talk to someone who actually seems to be engaging and paying attention. He's not like all these other sheeple.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, that is some very unique outtakes that you have on our fair mayor. Where did you come from? Why have we not heard these ideas before?
Well, I'm from Texas as well, you see, and I have a radio show where I go on and I expose the truth, and I get the feeling that your mayor there isn't really interested in making sure people hear the truth. So he probably makes sure not a lot of people here have radios.
Well, we don't have a whole lot, but I mean, that's not unheard of. What kind of radio show do you say you run again?
I run one where it's a weekly show, the Douglas Truth Hour, where I just spit straight truth at you.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you won't be able to be mayor. The running's already closed. There's nobody allowed to. I mean, nobody that can run against him because the deadline was 2 weeks ago, and they're very strict with their deadlines around here.
Ah, I see. Well, you think there's anyone else that has put in a candidacy then?
He's been mayor for the last 15 years. I'm not saying that there's something odd going on, but he and the sheriff are awfully chummy, and I don't know. I think there might be a reason why nobody does anything, but that's my daddy sitting here telling me that man's crooked.
Do I know anything about Driscoll's?
You can give me a knowledge. What kind of knowledge skills do you have?
I've got history and conspiracies.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a knowledge history roll. Since this is local history, this is going to be a bit more difficult because you're not from around here, so you're going to need 12 or better.
Rolled an 18.
Okay. So Driscoll's. They have been the primary grocer around here. They're one of the 4 big stores. They're kind of moneyed family, quote unquote, for as much of a moneyed family as a small Texas town can get. They're big. They're little fish, a big fish in a little pond kind of thing.
So this guy's dad is probably like the closest thing this town has to like an economic leader.
Most likely, yes.
Well, why isn't has your father given any interest in stepping into the ring?
Oh no, not after Mama died. He stayed clear of politics. He just wants to make sure that me and my brother have a store to run whenever we reach his age.
Right. Well, small businesses are the lifeblood of the American economy.
Just give me a straight D20 roll and let me know what it is.
That's a 9.
Okay. All right, excellent. Thank you.
That wasn't suspicious at all.
Not suspicious at all. So the crowd is still pretty riled up around you, and you're getting some laughs and jeers, and some people are listening to you. What are you two folks doing, Miss Sunny and Miss Betty?
That's a good question. I'm gonna try to get hold of my partner.
Okay.
But actually using the radio this time since we're not in the middle of a mob. Mm-hmm. Hey, Bill, this is Sunny. I am in the diner and I just want to check up, make sure you're okay.
His name is Robert.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Bill could be a pet name,
I said Bill.
It's an inside joke.
Bob, where are you? I mean, get back to me ASAP, please.
No response. You sit there and wait for about 5-10 minutes. You see this yoo-hoo outside.
I'm making sure he's not going to get himself shot.
raising a situation, but so far there has been no gunfire or any pitchforks or torches
Yet.
and no word from Bob. Miss Cleaver?
While she was trying to call her partner, I was whipping up a few snacks real quick, and I'm carrying them outside. Anybody want some snacks?
Okay. Do you have like a crafting skill? We'll see how many you make.
She's a 50s housewife. She should have that on default.
Yeah.
Not for cooking, but I didn't really cook. I just
Okay.
I have a mixology.
Yeah.
So I mixed up a few snacks.
Okay.
You made sandwiches out of flapjacks and sausage.
Breakfast sandwiches. All right. Roll me a d20. you need at least 3, but the more success,
13.
You whip up quite a bit. And
Yeah, I just kind of take him out and try to calm everybody down that's near him. That's being
Okay.
the anger portion, not the going with him. But
okay, yeah. You're not trying to convince them to vote for the
No.
angry little man.
no, I'm just here's some snacks.
Okay. All right.
Making the atmosphere,
Food always makes everybody feel better.
making the atmosphere around the angry little man nicer.
Yes.
So, a bit of time has passed, and between the snacks and the poking the mayor's grandiose speech, y'all managed to have enough time pass that the crowd begins to disperse, and as it breaks apart, and Agent Delight is still trying to raise Bob.
Bob's your uncle? Bob?
Bob is not in the crowd whenever it disperses.
Oh, no.
What's
Yep.
the matter, dear?
My partner has disappeared, apparently.
We're going to say
Like-
probably about an hour has passed since the beginning of this entire speech ordeal.
Well, you probably stumbled too close to the truth.
Like, what kind of partner?
My subordinate agent who
Ah.
is with me on this.
Okay. What did he look like, dear?
You want me to make up Bob?
Sure.
Okay. Quite a little bit taller than me. Brown hair that, is starting to bald a little bit and go gray. A very nicely trimmed beard.
Do
He
I
kind of has
remember-
that nice father look,
When I sent
Well-
them off to the diner, do I remember
Black and
seeing
white
someone
suit.
like that in the crowd before I headed off to the diner?
Not to your recollection. You might make just a straight intellect check and see if anything stands out. If you have any skills that might apply.
No, but
Okay. So you're looking for 12 or better, because it was very crowded.
I'm gonna spend an effort and at least make it 9.
Okay, 9.
My pencil in.
That'll put you at 10.
10. 19.
19. As a matter of fact, because you were winding your way through the crowd, whenever you went up to give your husband and the mayor the martini and gave him a peck on the cheek, you saw Bob behind the stage. He was just standing there. He was kind of protecting and overlooking, but that's the last place that you saw him.
So, I remember the guy with the beard. Yes, it was very well groomed, very very nice looking.
he's a sweet guy.
Yeah, he was back behind the stage when I was trying to calm everybody down, and I sent you guys here.
Okay, I guess I'll start looking there first. Thank you, Miss Cleaver.
No problem.
Do you think you can handle the small angry man? Make sure he doesn't get himself shot.
I mean, I'm sure I could calm everybody down.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm not leaving you unprepared or, unarmed.
No,
And that you can handle it. But
I might try to get some alcohol in that little man.
So while this is all happening, I would like to go ahead and spend 2 points of might, or just 1 because of my edge, and use impressive display for anyone that's still paying attention, where I just do something just real.
Okay. So what do you do? And what are you attempting to achieve with this?
So what I'm thinking is I've got this soapbox that I'm on. I imagine there's probably some other real heavy boxes or something like that. Just in my, just kind of ranting diatribe, talking about how the strength of a community is, when they all come together. And I say, when you've got just one person here and one person here, and I'm like taking some like milk bottles out of a giant box, and I'm saying, they don't, these aren't very strong. They aren't tough. It's just one. It doesn't weigh that much. But when you've got a whole, so I pick them up like they're nothing. But when you've got a whole bunch of them sticking together, just roid rage. Except he's probably not on steroids. Just lifts up the whole like giant ass box that says, "You will hurt your back if you lift this alone. Get 2 people to help you." And it says, "Then it's much tougher to lift up."
Okay. Now tell me what the effect does.
I gain an asset on all interaction tasks with people who saw me use this ability.
Okay. All right. So, give me a might check with any applicable skills for that, and it's going to be 6 or better to make sure that you.
It says that I just do it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, I can roll a might check to see how impressive it is.
I'm good with that.
That's 12.
Yeah. You're very impressive. In fact, you hear from the crowd, "Is that man part ant? I hear they're supposed to be very strong." Yes, the remaining crowd, which has dispersed quite a bit, you now have an asset when interacting with them.
I'm going to just kind of like pull them about weird stuff that's been happening in the town. Just not necessarily talking about the mayor, but like asking them like what sort of strange, unpleasant things have been happening in the town like before anyone showed up.
Okay.
Trying to angle for the light that Farmer Tate saw.
Okay. What skill do you have that you're using?
I think this is going to be more of a seeing through deception, maybe, or public speaking.
I'd say seeing through deception may apply. So.
Okay. And I've got the asset for that.
So you can get a automatic success because it's 6 or more because you're trained in the asset. That brings it down 2. You can choose to roll against that 6 or more for the potential of a critical success. So, Do you want to just take a success, or do you want to go for a critical?
I think I'm going to go for a critical because even if I roll below the 6, I still get it. I just don't want a 1.
Yep.
That's 12.
All right. So you're making your way downtown. No, sorry.
Making your way.
You're making your way through the crowd. You're working the crowd and talking on that. We'll come back to that, and I'll give you what you find in just a moment. Last I heard, you were looking for Bob.
Gonna go look for Bob.
Okay. And what were you doing, Miss Cleaver?
I'm sitting on the bench near Bronson over there, and I pulled out one of my romance novels, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on him but reading.
Okay. All right. So since she had started with Bronson, we'll do her, then we'll jump over to you. So as you're looking for Bronson, Miss Cleaver does tell you that the last he had been seen was behind the stage.
Bob.
Looking for Bob.
I'm sorry, looking for Bob.
Bob, Bronson, Billy.
Mr.
So many
Agent
B's.
Clark.
Agent Clark. Last you had heard, Miss Cleaver had said Agent Clark was near the stage. What do?
So I'm heading straight for that stage.
All right. As you get near the stage, of course, the mayor has gone. Nick, the
Thank
sheriff,
God.
is not there either.
Good.
I know that highly disappoints you.
So much.
She had another cup of coffee ready for her.
Speaking of coffee, though, you do see Frank Wright. He is sweeping up the stage. He is just cleaning this general area. Whereas whenever he had left y'all before, he was somewhat suspicious of you and angry with a tint of color. He is now full Technicolor. And he greets you. He says, "Oh, Agent, how are you?"
Hi, Mr. Wright. You feeling better?
I am better than I've ever been. What can I do to help you?
I was just wondering if you've seen my partner Bob, Agent Clark.
Give me a perception check on him.
Let's roll above a 5, please. I mean, it's above 5. 9.
3 was your target, so this is definitely a success.
Finally!
As you may have guessed, the sense of otherness, anger, rage, that empathic feel is disappeared. It is actually, he is nearly in a state of euphoria compared to what you were feeling before. Like it is night and day, dark to light, literally. But you are also now picking up a little bit of his thoughts, which is weird. You haven't had this before, and everything that you're gathering is he legitimately wants to help you. He does not so much. He recalls how he was acting before, but that's not who he is, and you can tell that was that Mr. Wright now is Mr. Wright.
I'm not looking for Mr. Wright. I'm just looking for Mr. Right now.
Well, the Mr. Wright that stands in front of you now, I think that is the best way I can say that and not be right now. Mr. Wright is now normal, is very much the feel that you have. But he tells you, oh, no, I saw your partner. He was leaving with the mayor and Nick. They seem to be very friendly.
Did you happen to see which way they went?
Well, they got in in the sheriff's car, and they were driving off down the road. So I don't know where they went, but they started heading east. So they might be going out to Farmer Tate's farm, the last we had heard.
Okay. I might ask Miss Cleaver what's out in that direction, since she seems to be very knowledgeable about this place. And I'll let her know that you're feeling so much better.
Well, thank you. I owe you my life. That was a truly awful experience. So thank you.
Well, not me, but you, Miss Cleaver, yes. And I'll let her know. She'll probably come check on you, too. She seems that kind of nice, motherly person.
Indeed, she is. I don't know what our community would do without the Mrs. Cleavers around here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm going to thank him, and I'm going to go head back to the diner to check in with the 2 people who seem mostly sane in this.
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch.
Speaking of mostly sane, we're going over to Bronson.
Yeah, the stretch.
So you work the crowd, and between your impressive feat of strength and your so eloquent and convincing way of speaking, they begin to let slip that the lights are new. They haven't seen that before. What the authorities have said, what Nick has said, what the mayor has said, is that they're probably just them damn commies coming across the border. And that gets you fired right up, because you are on a great topic there. So it's kind of creating an echoing chamber that you're like, yeah, fuck the commies, and they're like, yeah, fuck the commies. But no, you probably spend a good 10-15 minutes working through the crowd. And what you find interesting, there's probably about, what did you roll? You rolled a 12?
Yes.
Okay. Probably about 3 different people that they don't get much color, but just kind of like Franklin was, they started getting the cheeks colored a little bit. or not Franklin, yeah, Franklin and Nick started getting a little bit of color in their cheeks. As you spend time talking to them, you notice them starting to rosy up a little bit and going from there. So after a little bit of time, though, Miss Sunny Delight comes over here with intent look on her face. It looks like she might have some information.
Miss Cleaver, I have a question for you.
Yes, dear.
Do you know what's out east of here?
East. I'm not real good with directions. Do you
Well,
mean? Do you mean?
I'm gonna point whichever direction's east here.
Well, that's the way I came from. That's Mr. Tate's farm.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, because it sounds like your husband, the mayor, and Bob are heading that way.
Son of a bitch, they're trying to silence him.
Trying to silence who?
The man. Wait, the man's the one that does the silencing. No, they're trying to silence Mr. Tate.
Why would he do that?
Don't think Bob would be on board with that.
People can get worked up into a mighty frenzy when you say the right things.
Like you're doing here?
Lose all sense of compassion and logic and reason. We gotta go over there now.
Well, my car's just
There's
right
goblins
there.
coming for Mr. Tate, and if we don't strangle out the goblins, then they're gonna take over.
I don't think anybody will hurt Farmer Tate.
You do know that
He's already going for his bike.
one of the goblins you're talking about is her husband?
He's law enforcement. He can't be trusted.
I mean, I kind of agree with that as a federal agent.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
He's already going for his
I was gonna say, well, dear, I think we already lost him.
Yeah.
So,
Can your car handle whatever's out that way?
oh, I'm sure it can.
Okay, because otherwise I got a truck.
Whichever.
Up to you.
It's just an obnoxiously loud bike, so you know. You can hear
My
it.
lord.
Before we leave, let me grab something. I'm gonna head
whatever you
back
need.
into the diner, and I know where Franklin hides his alcohol, and I'm gonna make sure I refill my flask and
Okay.
everything since I've used some of it.
Before y'all head out, you said your badge is on your belt?
On my belt.
Okay. Make me a... What skills do you have?
What skills? I am trained in positive or pleasant social interactions, as well as medium light weapons and persuasion.
What's the treated like royalty?
Treated like royalty. When recognized as a member of the government, you can be seated at any dining establishment, no matter how full, get any room at any hotel if that means others are turned out. Be let into any court or other structure where laws are decided. Be invited to any gala and get a seat at a private function of any sort. In addition, you are trained in persuasion. Enabler.
Okay. So, give me a persuasion check. Difficulty 3.
Is that after being...
Yes, that's after it's... You're just trained in persuasion, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, for 6, I think.
That's a 17.
All right. As you're walking to the car and you're waiting, or the truck, and you're waiting on her, there's some outliers on the edge of the quote-unquote square that really didn't want to have anything to do with him. But
Which
as-
him? Which him? The mayor or the crazy
Didn't
person?
want to have anything to do with the crazy person, Bronson. But as they see your badge, they're just like, oh. They find it odd that you're a woman, but they're like, oh, thank goodness that the law is here to take care of this. And you see them see your badge, and then color starts applying to their cheeks. You got 2 ladies and a gentleman that are there.
Okay.
Okay. So you refill your
Flask.
pooch and head on out.
Yep, and make sure I grab my purse too.
Yes, grab that purse.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Miss Cleaver comes walking across the way to you.
I will open the door for her, get her bundled in,
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
And buckle up.
Oh, yes, dear. Oh.
Yes. And I'll climb in, shift this thing into drive, and we're off.
Bronson, did you wait or did you just take off?
He just took off.
I just took off.
Okay, all right.
I mean, he's not speeding or anything, so
Yeah.
they can catch up to him.
Okay.
And it's kind of not hard to follow you.
Yeah.
A loud motorcycle.
Can I go ahead and take a recovery roll while I'm...
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
What level recovery do you want to use?
About how long is the drive?
It's probably about a 20-minute drive.
I'll go ahead and use my 10-minute one.
Okay.
And while we're driving, I'll inform Miss Cleaver about how much better Frank's doing.
Oh, good. Good.
And also,
He is such a nice man.
he is totally different from when you got him up and going.
Yeah, it was really weird. He's never passed out like that.
I bet.
Took me throwing some water on him.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was all colored up and pleasant as pie.
Brings me back up to full.
Okay.
And saw a couple other people who were, brightening up before we headed out. So something weird's going on here.
I mean, this is a small town. Weird things do tend to happen.
Ever had something weird like this happen?
No. I think the weirdest thing was probably when Drexel's wife... No, maybe it was before she died. Let's see. She, yes, she met a man that came into town, ended up pregnant. It was the talk of the town.
I can imagine.
Yes. That was
Scandal.
probably the weirdest thing that's happened.
Uh-huh. I wouldn't describe it as weird, but certainly a thing.
Well, nobody knew the man. I mean, he just kind of showed up.
My wife and I haven't had sex in 2 years, and we have a 6-month-old daughter. You're just getting paranoid.
You've been locked up for 5 years. Oh, no. Well, on the way out there, they do manage to catch up to Bronson, if that's his desire.
Yeah. He's like, oh, good, they're here.
But Bronson recalls the way to the Tate farm,
Thank God.
since he is staying there. And by this time, it's getting on to late afternoon. You're heading east, so sun's starting to head towards the horizon, back the way you came. And so there is a lot of trees and an open road, and you have little dirt roads cutting off on the left and right as you go through. And eventually, this just obnoxiously loud motorcycle pulls onto a dirt road that it's been before, and you'll make your way up to the Tate farm.
Are there any other tracks coming this way that look fresh?
Make a perception roll or a tracking roll. Anybody can who wants to see it, or just straight intelligence. It's been dry, so it's gonna be 9 or better.
Oh, I got a 9.
Okay.
I got a 19 again.
I'm too busy concentrating on driving forward. Because I'd rolled a 2.
Y'all do see a set of motorcycle tracks. Looks like going in and coming out. And you'll see some tire tracks going down the road, but it doesn't turn by Tate's house. They just keep going down.
Okay, gonna make a note of that.
And so whenever you pull into Tate's farm, Farmer Tate has heard you coming again, oddly enough. And he says, Bronson, what brings you back so early?
Oh, Mr. Tate saw the darndest thing at the mayor's rally there where he sent me.
Give me a perception check.
Not trained in it, so
That's fine.
that's a 1.
Okay. Y'all can give perception checks as well.
Mine's a 1.
8.
Well, the standard is 6, so our secret agent is the first and only one to notice that y'all all do feel the just wave of hate coming off of Farmer Tate. Y'all two will take 2 intelligence damage as and it's not just hate that you feel. Y'all just feel the hate. It's just a negative emotion. You have noticed that it's not so much hate that you're feeling, it's intense greed. It's nearly making you sick to your stomach because you're feeling that this man sees a way for himself to be famous through Bronson. And so every time he's looking at Bronson, this overwhelming nausea just hits you again because his greed just spikes. And so he's being friendly, but it feels nearly oily. It's like coating your skin. You just not getting a good vibe from this guy. And, of course, y'all all notice he is monochrome. As is the rest of the world.
That makes the cornfield that much scarier.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Tate. Is that correct?
Yes. And who might you be, darling?
Agent Delight. You can call me Sonny if you want. Have you seen the sheriff and the mayor?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I was talking with Bronson.
Oh, it's okay. This is all getting recorded. So if you don't mind them, I got my little tape recorder out. It's like, gotta keep the public officials accountable, you know.
Oh, of course. And so you see him light up, and he gets real talkative. But
and I'm wiping my hands on my pants because
make
this
a might
feels
check,
creepy.
and it's going to be 9 or better.
That's a 5.
All right, you're going to take 2 might damage.
Okay.
And so you bring out the tape recorder and start talking to him, and you see Sunny over there just, and she runs over by the side of her truck and
one
literally loses her lunch. Yes.
Miss Cleaver's over there holding her hair, and it's okay, dear. It's okay.
It's all that alcohol you've been feeding her.
I mean,
What
some
alcohol?
people just can't hold it.
What alcohol?
True.
I'm more sober than the rest of you people.
So you break out
Man, I don't drink any alcohol. It's the devil's nectar.
Exactly. Leads to communism and aliens. I'm sorry, Bigfoot.
No, Bigfoot's one of the good guys.
Oh, okay. My bad. But as we sit here, you bring out the recorder, and he says, "Well, what?" He leans his head over, and he's craning over the microphone like he's clearly not used to talking into any type of microphone. And he's like, "What can I tell you?"
In between wretches over here, you hear, "Ask about Bob."
Have you seen another man wearing a suit? Think of hers, except instead of that dress, a little skirt, got pants, brown hair, balding,
Beard.
got a beard on him.
No, I haven't seen them. Are they like the skinwalkers that you were talking about?
No. These might be some of the few honest civil servants we have left in this country.
All right. I don't
See
know.
through deception. I wanted to see through deception to see
Okay.
if he's. That's 10.
He is not deceiving you at all. But let me see how NPC attacks work.
Oh boy.
You just said the craziest thing he has ever heard. That there are trustworthy government agents. So he thinks that you are you are a skinwalker. So
Oh no.
all right.
I mean, man, you don't fuck for skinwalkers.
So give me a either might-based or speed-based defense roll. The difficulty 6.
Okay. Difficulty 6 is, and I need an 18 to dodge, or
No, I'm sorry. Difficulty 2, you need a 6 to dodge, and if you're trained in any of those defenses, that lowers
I
it.
am not.
Okay.
I'll just roll for it. Oh yeah, I make it. I got an 8 on my might defense.
All right. So as you say, these are the rare, trustworthy government agents. You hear him yell, "What have you done with Bronson, you foul demon?" And he takes a swing.
I hold back his punch. No, they're trying to make him disappear because they know too much.
Make a roll to try and convince him, persuade him if you have persuasion.
No, I don't.
It's going to be 6 or better because he wants to believe you.
Okay. I will go ahead and spend a point of effort on that
Okay.
to make that a success.
Again, he wants to believe you, so he's swinging there for a minute, and you're like, no, and of course you're recording all of his rambling about you being a crazy man.
Skinwalkers do indeed exist, and I think the mayor might be one.
And so you get him calmed down, and
Hey, look, sometimes people just get all fired up in this line of work.
because you rolled your perception and you're still recovering from that.
Yeah.
You feel him switch from greed to hate, just like that.
Oh God.
And now he's back to greed. Like you can tell he is swinging not just fists.
You know, I think you could use some of Mrs. Cleaver's delicious food and drink. Do you have anything that this fine gentleman can have?
I mean, I always have snacks. Let me just get in my purse.
You look like you've been starved by the cowards who run this.
About this time, he looks over and he realizes that it's Miss Cleaver that he's seeing, and just a look of intense fear flashes across his face, and he says, No! I am sorry, Miss Cleaver. I didn't see you there. I'm gonna go back inside. Just you stay over there. It's gonna be okay. You're not gonna have any problems out of me. I don't want anything from you.
She's here to help.
No. I'm so sorry. Just forget I said anything, and just look of sheer panic. And he turns around and he runs inside, and you hear the door slam, and you can hear some sounds inside, but you don't know what.
Bronson turns to Mrs. Cleaver, points to the house. I told you, goblins.
Was that normal?
No.
Right. Well, we saw another pair of tracks coming. Going past here.
You haven't interacted with Tate a whole lot, so I mean, you don't have a lot. He's one of the rural families. You're usually kind of like the socialite in town, quote unquote. So it doesn't fit with what you've heard.
Yeah.
But then you don't have any personal basis on this.
So the way I see it, we can either go take a look at the swamp where Mr. Tate saw the light coming, or we can follow that second set of treads out.
I don't have the right shoes for the swamp.
What size you wear? Just if they something like mine, we can get you some boots real quick.
I mean, do you have anything in a 7?
Yeah. I got some spare boots in that size.
Would you believe that I wear a women's 7?
All of a sudden, she's 9 feet tall.
Yeah, we'll get her some boots. They may not match her pretty dress, but
They clash with her outfit.
but at
yeah,
least
that's
she can make
reasonable.
it through mud.
At least we won't be, seen by very many people in town. I mean, the no matching kind of bothers me, but
They're black. Black goes with everything.
That's true. That is true. And I have the black purse. That helps.
Yes.
All right.
And is there any chance that the direction we're going is going to get us to the bogs too?
It may. You don't know. You have to follow if
Well,
you are following the.
That's going to hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have never been to the bogs. I really can't say.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Mr. Douglas, you want to ride with us, or you want to take your bike?
Well, if we're trying to be quiet, I'm afraid to say that I like my vehicles loud, but, well, I guess I'll take a ride.
Okay.
All right, so y'all all can give me a difficult, so 12 or better, tracking roll to see if y'all can track the car traces further down the road.
Another one.
Y'all have rolled more ones tonight.
Yeah.
I'm about to fire you, pretty girl.
That's another one.
Oh my god! Round us out, Ray.
Trying to see if I had anything that could add. Oh, I got a 10.
Unfortunately,
you
that's
can,
not.
you
That's
can
like
spend
enough.
effort, maybe.
Normally yes, but since you two rolled ones, I'm going to take a GM intrusion. So actually, both of y'all, since y'all both rolled, the GM intrusion, y'all both get an XP. Y'all both get an XP to give to somebody else. I should have done that
Let's
earlier.
just give it to each other.
Okay. We're so bad at this.
I'm sorry, I forgot about the intrusions earlier. But this intrusion is, y'all are going down this dirt road, and y'all are 100% certain that you're following these tracks. And the dirt road runs out. And y'all have this brilliant idea that it's probably going to be still straight, right? And so y'all are driving around the swamp and get horrendously lost.
Oh my god.
Y'all eventually find your way back to the main road. It's probably about 2 a.m. Y'all are all beat. And through sheer luck, y'all managed to find your way back to Tate's farm. The house is dark. It's essentially like boarded up. Like they are not coming out for the night.
Going to activate my night sight.
Okay?
So I have a cipher where I have a pair of amateur night vision goggles.
Okay.
They can be used for a total of 10 hours before the baling wire and duct tape can't hold them together any longer. So, and I'm going to, like, carefully look around, see if there's any, like, signs of stress or anything, entry, exit.
Okay, give me search, perception, any kind of skill that you might want to apply that's...
Don't have
Okay,
anything.
alright.
I'd say seeing through deception, but if there's no deception going
Yeah,
on.
they're not actively, unless they're actively trying to.
So,
Do you beat the 9? Because that's your standard?
I think I'm going to... Would you say that the cipher gives me an asset?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so then
so
I'll
that
go
would
ahead
be
and spend...
6 or better.
I will spend some intellect to make that a 6.
Okay. Alright. So,
'Cause
y'all roll up, and Bronson looks over at y'all, and he fishes around in his pants, and he brings out this pair of goggles, and it looks god-awful. It looks like he took a couple of cups and painted them green, and it's just wired together. Somebody clearly made these or gave these, but they're not professional. And he puts this on his head, and he starts looking around. He's kind of stalking around, seeing what he can find. And you see, no signs of foul play, violence, anything. From what you see through the windows, it doesn't look like there's anyone inside Tate's home. You can't be certain because you can't see all of the house, but it is very still. Now, it is 2 a.m., so they may be passed out, but it seems uninhabited.
right.
One thing that you do know, there's no animals around. So whereas he was out working with the chickens this morning, you don't even hear chickens right now.
Well, this is all kinds of unsettling. And he's going to very slowly and quietly open the door.
Okay?
What? The truck door or the house door?
The house door.
Okay.
what are y'all doing with
I'm
all
watching
this
this
going on?
like, what on earth are you wearing?
Okay. So she asks you, what are you wearing?
These help me see the truth.
So
Yay!
you edge up and you open the door, and as expected, it just...
Mr. Tate, you awake? Just carefully stepping in, looking around.
Now, you have the creaky wooden floor. You're looking around.
Stick to the carpet.
There. This
There's
isn't
no
the
carpet.
carpet
There's
kind
no
of
carpet,
home.
no
This
rugs,
is,
no carpet.
yeah, this is a wooden shack, essentially. And so you look around. As you look to the left, you see a kitchen. It's got a table, a little wood burning stove, a little pipe leading up. Nothing there. You look over to your right. Probably what you would call a sitting room. It has a rocking chair. And it has, looks like somebody has darning set down beside them, clearly making a blanket. And connected to that room is a closed door. And connected to the kitchen is another closed door.
No steps or anything like that? Okay, I'm going to first go to the kitchen and carefully listen against the door, see if I hear anything on the other side.
Okay. Make a difficult, so 12 or better.
20.
Okay.
Wow.
Very nice. Whenever you roll a 20 in combat, you can dictate something. So I'll describe the scene, and if there's a piece of information that you would like to ask about, I'll give you that information. So you gently put your head against the door. You've got your ear rested to it. And you can hear the floor creaking under your own weight. You can hear your breathing and how you're brushing up against the door. You can hear the door kind of flexing in the frame as you press your ear against it. But on the other side, what you hear is complete silence. You don't hear house sounds, you don't hear anything. It's just absolute silence. Except for that.
Now, with a 20, can I go ahead and say that if there's a sound on the other side of the door that I can, on the other door, that I can hear it from here?
Okay. If I can tell you now, there's not a sound for you to hear behind that door. So, you don't hear any breathing or anything.
So, okay, I guess what I'll ask instead is, does it sound like it's silent just because there's nothing moving, or does it sound like it's silent because something is deadening the sound? Have you ever been like walking next to some sound dampening panels?
Mm-hmm.
You and I are both in music departments, and it feels different when you're walking past them. Like you feel like a sense of disorientation because you can't hear.
It's the lack of silence.
Or the lack of sound.
Yeah, lack of sound, a physical presence. From where you're at, you don't feel a physical silence. And that might be the best way. It is completely silent, so you don't get that feel, but that's because there's something physically between you and it. You can't feel that physical absence of sound.
So with that in mind, he's just going to go ahead and open that door.
All right. How do you open it? Quickly, slowly?
These are squeaky, oily, squeaky, rusty hinges, I bet. he's just going to go ahead and throw it open.
Okay.
And,
Do you go through? Do you stay there?
he does not go through. He looks first. Looks
Okay.
before he leaves. He's still got the night vision goggles.
Yes. And so you're sitting there, and Bronson.
He's short, but
Yeah, I'm sorry. Figuratively. So Bronson is standing there, and all of a sudden he grabs the handle and he throws it open, and he looks. And what you see is odd, because for a moment you see that room in color. And then it goes monochrome. And within, you see Tate, absolutely monochrome, collapsed on the floor. He's not breathing. And there's no sign. So you saw the darning. On the bed, you see that there's clearly should be a second occupant. There's only Tate. There's no sign of struggle, no sign of violence. Only this farmer.
Not breathing, no heartbeat.
Correct.
Dead.
To the best of your knowledge from standing at the doorway.
I guess I'll have to go in and... Or I guess I'll yell out, "Get in here, quick!" And go rush to check on him.
Do we hear that?
Yes. Y'all can easily hear that. There's an eerie silence settled across the yard. And so that's actually where we will end this episode, with Bronson yelling out, "Get in here, quick!" as he stands over the dead, body of Farmer Tate. Questions, comments, thoughts?
Not Bob. Bob, don't die.
All right. Well, as I was expecting Ray to say, we haven't died yet. So...
Emphasis on yet.
I mean, it's true. We have not.
Please kill Bronson.
Yes. Also, Gary's not dead. So I guess we'll have to see you on the next episode. Do y'all have any shout-outs or plugs that y'all want to throw out right now?
Oh, I'll plug you.
Yeah. Easy there, Sheriff.
Got a real pretty mouth there.
Really, I hope the dice that I bought for you are working better than the ones I bought for us. Because, damn.
I rolled 2 20s. I don't know what you're talking about. Also, like 3 1s. But...
Yeah, that's what I meant, the 3 1s.
We'll see you next time, where the dice are the real enemy on Average Adventuring Party.
They are.